Hi everyone, Dr. Ram here again. Yesterday I published a 4-minute video about powerful dietary interventions that can be used to reverse type 2 diabetes. I also mentioned a way in which the body develops insulin resistance. The link to that video is in the description below. Today I would like to explain a bit more about how insulin works in the body, 2, how you can know if you are insulin resistant, and 3, some of the additional changes you can make in your dietary habits to improve insulin sensitivity. So first of all, I'd like to elaborate a bit more about how exactly insulin works in the body. Insulin is a peptide hormone that signals your body to store excess sugar in bloodstreams as fat. So for example, when you drink a sugary beverage like soda, for example, your blood sugar tends to spike, which signals your pancreas to release more insulin. The insulin then signals your organs to take that excess sugar and store it around your body as fat. The problem is that your body, from an evolutionary perspective, isn't used to handling that amount of sugar all at once, which causes your body to overproduce insulin. That actually causes your blood sugar, too much blood sugar to be stored, which inevitably leads to a sugar crash that I'm sure we've all experienced before. That sugar crash causes your blood sugar to dip too low, then boosts your appetite and your hunger signals in your body, telling us to snack on even more sugary foods in attempts to get our sugar levels back up to normal. If you know someone that gets irritable or hangry, this is exactly the scenario that they are suffering from. So, conversely, when your insulin is low, your body mobilizes fat to burn it as fuel. So since your insulin dictates whether fat is either stored or burned, using simple logic, an effective weight loss strategy is to optimize your diet as to minimize the amount of insulin your body produces. In this paradigm, weight loss becomes not a matter of how much calories you consume and burn, but rather how your body is signaling to either store fat or burn fat. This paradigm is known as the hormonal theory of obesity, which I will elaborate on thoroughly in coming weeks on my blog. So, how do you know if you are insulin resistant or not? The first way is to check your fasting blood glucose level. When your sugar is high, even when you haven't eaten anything, it shows that your body is having trouble responding to insulin, and thus it cannot store away the sugar as it's properly supposed to. Unfortunately, high blood sugar can lead to all kinds of problems in the long term. In fact, studies have demonstrated that people with higher fasting blood sugar levels have a higher risk of heart disease. When your fasting blood sugar is between 100 and 125, your risk of coronary artery disease increases 300% more than those whose level is below 79. The second test used to test insulin sensitivity is the oral glucose tolerance test, in which you feed your body a certain dose of sugar to see how effectively the body processes it. The more insulin resistant you are, the less effectively your body can store that sugar away. By some estimates, up to 80% of Americans would either be classified as diabetic or pre-diabetic when checked with the oral glucose tolerance test. Now, perhaps the best predictor for cardiovascular risk is determined by testing your insulin sensitivity through measuring your fasting insulin level, which can be determined by a simple, inexpensive blood test at your doctor's office. The concept is basically the same. Even when you haven't eaten anything, if your insulin is high, this tells us that your body has developed a tolerance for that insulin and is attempting to produce more and more of insulin to achieve the same effect. Just like, as I mentioned yesterday, over time, how we have to drink more and more coffee to get that same energy boosting effect. Our body has developed a tolerance for it. As for preventing and reversing insulin resistance, the following general guidelines will set you on the right track. First, as I mentioned in yesterday's video, intermittent fasting is one of the most powerful ways to reverse insulin resistance and to lose weight. Second, another equally effective way to reverse insulin resistance is to reduce the net carbohydrates in your diet by decreasing highly refined carbohydrates and increasing the amount of fiber that you consume. Third is to eliminate processed fructose that's found in like high fructose corn syrup, which you get in sodas. This literally sets a cascade of metabolic dysfunction into motion. Replace the lost calories with higher amounts of healthy fats, such as from nuts and seeds, extra virgin olive oil, grass-fed butter, and coconut oil, just to name a few options. Fourth, normalize your omega-3 to omega-6 ratio. Most of us do not get nearly enough omega-3s in our diet. This can be found in foods like fatty fish, such as wild Alaskan salmon, sardines, anchovies, fish oil, and krill oil supplements. And we get way too much omega-6 in our diets, which is plentiful in processed vegetable oils like canola and soybean oil, which are commonly used to deep fry foods. Fifth is to optimize your vitamin D level by getting regular, sensible amounts of sun exposure. Other nutrients of importance include magnesium, vitamins K2, and vitamin C. Sixth, get 8 hours of quality sleep every single night to normalize your hormonal system. Research has shown that sleep deprivation can have a significant bearing on your insulin sensitivity. Then the last method is by getting regular exercise. Regular exercise is one of the best techniques to improve your insulin sensitivity. That's it for today's video. To get more information on this topic and to get a transcription of this video, follow me. Subscribe to my blog at www.drram.co. To get daily health and wellness tips, follow me on Instagram at drram.pharm.D. All right, guys, have a good day. Bye.